Well, hello everybody, and good afternoon, good evening. It's 5 o'clock, so it's evening everywhere, I guess. Um, just want to say welcome. I'm Jen Ferguson. If you're new to my page here, and this is Artistic Painting Studio, just a fun place to gather and be creative. So we are just going to have a lot of fun tonight. I've started some projects. And we are going to finish them up. Okay. We've been doing a little experimenting with how foils look over different colors. And we had a great project that we did last night. And we've got another one where we're showing you how to foil over foils. So we're going to let the fun begin. As you join in, please say hello. We'd love to know who's on here. Um, Let me know what you're doing. Just say hi. Um, Let me know where you're watching from, any of those great things, just so we kind of get to know each other. And if you're new to my page, make sure you give StreamYard permission. It's just the streaming service I use. Okay, I don't think it's anything weird, but give them permission so that we'll be able to see your name. So, hello, Lori and Darlene. Welcome, welcome. Um, Lori says she's running out of leopard foil. Okay, I think our leopard foils are the hottest foils that we have here right now. We're those are flying off the shelves. Okay, that's all I can say. We create so many sub rolls of those leopard foils, and they just go, 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 go. I mean, what what could be better than leopard cheetah or some kind of animal print? Okay, and they go on anything. They can go on all your home decor. They can go on all your fabric. I even have it inside my boyfriend's car. Okay, now this car has been hand me down to one of the daughters, but the center console was done in cheetah. Okay, pretty cool. If you haven't seen those pictures of that, I don't think I did it on video, but I think we have just some good pictures of it. So fun project. So hi, hi, hi. So Tammy, wonderful. She's on a break from work. I'm glad you're able to like hang out with us for a little while. And Allison, thank you so much for being here. Okay, I'm going to post Lori's comment up here. Uh, she says, I did a beautiful dresser with the leopard foil, and now the lady wants her nightstands to match. Yay, that's awesome. Love it when you get repeat customers. That's always wonderful. So, hello, hello, Maddie. Welcome. Okay, for those of you that have been around the last couple of days, I think I started this on Sunday and finished it up last night. But this is our beautiful little sign that I did that's Gather. And I painted it in different colors on purpose so that you could see how gorgeous some of our foils release different over different colors. So we've got a beautiful rainbow effect on this particular project, but this was really fun. If you didn't see this, you can always go back and watch the video from yesterday. But the foil is Melody if you're looking to figure out which foil that is. But it's so pretty. So I got to figure out what we're going to do with that, but it's going to find a home. Um, but last night we started another project where I've got my boo sign, okay, and this is in our purple rain right now, but we have foil over foil. Okay, we're going to put foil over foil. So I put my foil adhesive down. We transferred our beautiful purple rain last night, and I put foil adhesive on here again. So this is sat overnight and it's ready for our next foil. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my camera down and let me know if you guys have any questions. I can still see my screen, okay, from my laptop. You guys can see my laptop over here in the corner, so that's the way I can see all your comments and everything. um, so Lori's saying the foils are so very easy to use and so beautiful in person. Yeah, I don't think anybody can actually um, appreciate how gorgeous they are until you literally see these in person. And then you start to understand how I get so excited, especially over stuff like this. Like Melody is so gorgeous. The colorations that you get and how pretty that is, it's just, yeah, you just have to like experience them for yourself. um, So Darlene's saying she likes it on colors better than black. Okay, so this is why, Darlene, I tell everybody to experiment and play, because I love. Let's see if I can find the melody here really quick. I know it's on something. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this was over black. Okay, so this is the same foil that I used on Gather, but this was over black. And the foil is just absolutely stunning, but you can see how you can change the look of the foil so much with all the different colors that you can use underneath. Now, I always tell everybody, if you don't know what color to use, if all else fails, just go with black because I know it's going to look gorgeous. But if you don't take the time to experiment and figure out what is going to be your favorite color, that's why I was showing everybody how to do something. Now, you don't have to go this extent, okay, this extensive, because I did a full, cutout sign, but you could get a scrap piece of wood, you could get stir sticks, you could get all kinds of things and paint different colors on, put your foil adhesive down and transfer your foil and see which is the absolute best color to use. And that's why I keep telling everybody to please, please do this because you're going to figure out what works best. Okay, Lori says, I'm curious though what you use and recommend to apply them. What kind of brush? Lori, go in depth. What apply what? Apply my foil adhesive, apply the foils, which product? So go ahead and write in there again if you would. Linda says, first time watching, find foil interesting and would love to learn. Well, welcome, Linda. We appreciate you being here. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on this project, okay? Now, remember, if you're just tuning in, this has Purple Rain, has another layer of foil adhesive over the top, and now I'm going to use Ohana #1. We have a couple of different Ohanas, and you can see how completely transparent these foils are. They're absolutely beautiful, but they're hard to see. They're hard to photograph, and that's why I am so excited to be able to show you. I'm going to cut a piece off that hopefully will be thick enough to do our project, and that way you can see. Now, the Ohanas are basically the same coloration. They just have different patterns. So let me get this sideways and see if I'm going to be able to fit it over the whole thing at once. Okay, don't get stuck on there. Okay, I want to be a little short, it looks like, but that's okay. We will cut a little piece to finish off the bottom. So there we go. And as always, love to grab my cloth first. Okay. Hello, Gigi. It's great to see you on here. Welcome, everybody. I just want to tell you guys how much I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. I enjoy your company. I enjoy getting to know all of you much better. You guys have been wonderful customers, and my whole objective is just for everybody to find something to do, to be creative, because I feel that being creative is just so good for all of our hearts and souls. I'm hoping that you can start to see a little bit of how it's going to grab, okay? Doesn't look like I just put clear over there with no pattern whatsoever. Okay, I'm going to peek because I'm starting to get a little bit of a transfer. So you're going to be able to see that, okay? The little bit of a rainbow effect that I'm going to have on there. Now, I want more coverage, okay? So if rubbing does not give me enough of what I'm looking for, then I'm going to go ahead and grab my scrub brush, because my scrub brush is always going to scrub more of the foil onto the surface. So we're just going to give a good scrub here and get a really good transfer. Now, let's see. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, and I'm just peeking to make sure that I did get, yes, I did get a nice transfer. So I'm going to have to kind of move this back and forth so that you can start to see the pattern that is actually transferred, okay? Um, and it looks beautiful over the purple, but you can tell by how transparent it is uh, that the different colors that you use it over will just completely change the look of it. But isn't that beautiful? I'm telling you, it's one of the hardest foils to photograph. Um, Even on the website, it's just always been a challenge, but that is just so fun. Oh, that's a pretty good read right there that you guys can see part of it. Let me look on my computer screen here. That's not too bad. So there's just a subtle movement. I want to say similar to like an oil slick um, that you get all the different colorations from. And you get a little bit of a teal, pink, or purple is definitely influencing everything. A little bit of just a little bit of a gold, even some green, but that is so pretty. Now, with a transparent foil like this, your color underneath is going to be, you really want to check and play, okay? Even kind of like I did the other sign, that you really want to play with your colorations and figure out what's going to be the best color to go underneath. Um, so hopefully you guys have had fun learning how to do a foil over a foil. Now, I was even talking about them last night. Oh yeah, Gigi, the colors pick up different from different angles. So if I lay it down here, it looks very purple. Um, Up here, it looks really pink. And with the direction now, I can see a blue. I see a dark purple underneath. I can see some of the gold uh, down here. It kind of just depends on whatever direction the light's hitting and reflecting it. So it's really cool to do stuff like this. But not only can you do a transparent like this, I was talking about one of the finishes I used to absolutely love to do years ago, and I haven't done it in a while. And I was trying to remember the exact formula, okay, and I might have to throw out, grab my notes, but I believe we did a bright silver over black to begin with, okay? So we've got that black coming through with the bright silver, and then we came in with a matte silver. So we were kind of toning it down and not trying to do a complete full release on the second pass, and then overglazed it. And it was beautiful. Diana, I don't know if you have to give, Diana's asking, do I have to give StreamYard permission each time you go live or just one time? I think once you give StreamYard permission, then I think that's all. So always try to just post a message to me next time before you give them permissions to see if it keeps you in there. Yes, Darlene, this is Ohana 1, okay? All the Ohanas are going to have a similar coloration. They just have a different pattern in them. So they're very similar, as just the pattern changes on all of them. Let's see. Hello, Monique. You guys have been doing so much lately. Oh my gosh. If you guys have gone over to Foil Everything group, these girls have been busy, busy, busy. Okay. Okay. So I've got something that I want to make for a friend of mine. And her name is Carrie. So that's why I have a K. And I am going to do this in a hammered metal finish, which I thought would be beautiful. So she's been doing some fun things for me. And I wanted to do something special for her and also be able to share with you guys this great finish. So it's just a piece of wood cut out, okay, and the letter K. And let's see, I want to get that back off the screen. There we go. Got too many things going here. I'm like all over the place here. Okay, so we're going to be using my texture medium. Some of you might not be familiar with this. Eventually, we are going to foil this, okay? So foil will be part of the finish, but that's going to be a couple of stages and layers later. Okay, this is my big, big tub of texture medium. Our texture medium comes in 10-ounce quarts, and really, we don't sell it in a gallon. I just have gallons for me, okay? Because I go through a ton of this. And here is our little mini trowel. If you haven't gotten one of these yet, this is awesome for working on small surface. And this is what texture medium looks like. It's just a bucket of white goop, okay? And it is a wonderful product to trowel on. It works great with our rollers, but you could also trowel it on and do a whole lot of different finishes. Um, so don't feel like it's just for the rollers, but I want to put on a thin layer. I want to get on about, I want to say about, I'm going to grab everything that's gone through, okay? Somewhere between an eighth of an inch to a 16th of an inch thick. So it's not very thick, okay? A lot of people start to feel like they have to put on a lot of material, and you really don't. You can keep this so thin. Now, if by chance you don't have one of these handy dandy trowels, okay? And these work wonderful for small projects. They work great for furniture. Even if you're doing a larger project, there's always going to be an area that is tight, like behind the door jamb or next between a door jamb and a window or something. So this little mini trowel works good for a lot of different things. But let's say that you just don't have one and you want to try to do something similar to what I'm doing. Not all is lost, okay? Denise, I did the Ohana, okay? We'll have to show it to you. I did. So if you don't have a trowel to work with, okay, you really can brush this product on. The only thing about when you brush it on versus troweling it on is you're going to have a very distinctive striae. Okay, there's nothing that you're not going to be able to get rid of the striae that the chip brush or whatever brush you use gives you. Okay, I'm trying to create straight lines. So whenever I do use my brush, okay, I try to keep my lines pretty straight, and that you can see I've got a distinctive striae going there, whereas if I trowel it, my texture will be smoother. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just do the striae tonight, just so you guys can see how easy it really is to get your product on there. And troweling, if you're not really familiar with it and you haven't done much troweling, I know it just seems difficult to start with, but a little bit of practice and you can nail it, okay? It's just not that hard. Okay, we're going to put this stuff out of the way. Okay, now that I have my texture medium on there, I always like to try to come back and clean up the edges if I can, because then that just means less sanding later, okay? If I clean them up now. If you don't worry about it. You can always sand it down smooth once it's dry. I just try to save myself a little bit of sanding time, okay? It's not like my favorite thing to do. Okay, now we need to find, okay, here we go. Oh, it's even a damp paper towel. Wow, that's a winner. So we're going to take a quick little break, and I'm going to show Denise. Is it Denise? Denise, this was the Ohana. So after the whole video, you can go back and watch the process, but I basically just laid it over the top of the Purple Rain, and we created this beautiful effect that the Ohana did. Now this is Ohana 1, okay? Just so you guys know, I used Ohana 1 tonight because there's Ohana 1, Ohana 5, and Ohana Rainbow. So realize there are 3 different Ohanas. Okay, I'm going to grab my ostrich roller. And this is the best tool I've ever known for making a hammered metal look. So it's just considered the ostrich roller. And we do a lot of different finishes with it. Okay, and it does sometimes get a little stiff to get the roller handle back onto the roller, okay? But just make sure that once you do that, your roller is spinning really well, okay? If it's not spinning free, okay, not spinning really fast and starting to catch, pull your handle back out and even grab a little bit of like Pam cooking spray or a little Vaseline or anything like that and put it on the handle and then put it back in because it'll lube it up and it'll allow it to spin a lot better. And you want your rollers to spin free, okay? You don't want them to be catching, sliding, or doing anything weird. Okay, I want to put this in a safe spot. Okay, so once you have your texture medium down, you don't have to worry and panic because this product has really great open time. It's got a few minutes that you can work instead of feeling like you have to put it on the surface and then immediately come back and roll through it. But our red rollers are basically designed to do a negative finish, which means you're rolling through a wet material, whether it's texture, paint, glaze, stain, anything that you can brush onto your surface and that stays wet long enough for you to come back and roll. And this is almost the same size. Okay, we're just going to be a little bit short. So I'm going to roll right through it. And we have this really cool, like, spotted look. Okay, look how fun that is. Now you can roll through and leave it as this, but if you really want it to look more like hammered metal, I've always felt if I come back and roll through it at least one more time, it gets a little messier looking, but this I feel looks more like hammered metal in the finish, okay, and when it's all said and done. And you don't have to roll through too many times, but that is going to be such a great texture to do our hammered metal on. Once you have your texture down, you roll through it, you're happy with the way it looks, then you just get to let it dry, okay? It's got to dry for, I want to say, several hours, okay? The thicker it is, the longer it's going to take to dry. And I want to say, normally, I just go ahead and leave stuff like this overnight or wait at least 4 hours because the thicker the product is, you want it to be completely dry before you go forward because if you start sanding on it, you could actually destroy your pattern. So we're going to put that aside, and then we're going to talk about some top coats because I know we've had a lot of questions for top coats. So let's see if I can find any room on my table where I can put some stuff out of the way and maybe even wash my hands up a little bit before I pick up anything else. And also, if you guys have any questions, please write them in the comments. That always gives me other things to talk to you about because sometimes your questions just always remind me of something to share with you also. So I am grabbing my container, okay? I should go get the real container so that you can see. Mine's unmarked because it dropped and it broke and I had to put it in another container. But this is our it's now called Golden Paintworks. And I'm going to go grab it because I like for you guys to have a visual and that way you can see exactly what I'm talking about instead of me just talking about it. Let's see, let's grab gloss because I think that's what I'm using. Yes, I've got gloss. Okay, I'm coming back. Sorry about that. I know somebody's going to come and tune into one of my videos and I'm not going to be here and they're going to be like, where did she go? Denise, that would look beautiful. Okay, so Denise is asking about the Ohana. Ohana actually does transfer well over white, and it's one of the only ones that I say I don't mind it over white. I don't have a sample handy. I was trying to think if I had one, but I don't see it, so I'm not going to bother getting up. But we're going to move back over to, okay, so Mary Jo wants to know, can you tint the texture medium? Yes, you can. If you want to add some color to it first, I always suggest using colorants, not paint, okay? But last resort, you could always add a little paint. It's not going to go to a really dark color, but you can definitely warm it up and get it off of the white tone. Okay, now, two of my favorite top coats are these. So we have Final Coat, which is considered a wipe-on varnish, and then we also have our Golden Paintworks, just clear top coat and gloss. And both of these are gloss. I like using the higher sheen over my foils. I think it continues to keep the brilliance of the foils, but you don't have to, okay? You don't have to use a you know, the gloss. You can use something of a lower sheen if you want, okay? So don't feel like you have to just use gloss. But I tell everybody, again, it's one of those things where you have to figure out what you like best. Um, I like a lot of the foils over black paint, and that's my personal preference. But that doesn't mean that is the ultimate color, and I'm always encouraging everybody to test. So when I talk about top coats, I always say you might have to test what you have. So if you make that sample board that has different colors on it, boy, I need to wash my brushes. My tub's getting packed over here. Um, yeah, look at this. Look how bad I am. Okay, I got everything. I got my trowel shoved in here. I got all my brushes, my stir sticks. I think it's time to wash my tub. um, but if you've made the sample board where you have all your different colors, you've transferred your foil, now you also have a place to test the top coats you have and figure out which sheen you like the best. You might like something really bright and shiny, and then again, you might want something a little bit more matte for different projects. So I always encourage everybody, do do your homework. Okay, make your samples. Which Ohana would look best on a skinny tumbler? Oh my gosh, that's a loaded question. That's a hard one. Um, Denise, I don't know which one would look best. I mean, I think it's all personal preference. I absolutely, oh, I don't know, maybe five or one. I'm sorry, five or rainbow. I think would probably be my two favorites. I like number one also, but I think, I don't know, check out rainbow and five and see what you think of those. Okay, so I'm going to do some base coat or some top coating. This is one of our newest foils. This one is called Nevada Sun. It's absolutely beautiful. It is in our V Mask collection, which means it does not work on fabric, okay? Not meant for textiles at all. And it is a shinier foil, okay? So it is one of our bright and shiny. So I am going to preserve that beautiful sheen and put this gloss over the top. And that's it. I mean, it's so simple to top coat these foils. But that is going to give that a beautiful sheen and protect my samples so that I can get some photography done before I ruin it, okay? Yeah, I'm sometimes bad about that. Okay, here's another one of our foils. This one's brand new as well. This one is called Indian Bronze. It's got such gorgeous colors in there. Now, this particular foil actually has a little bit lower sheen, so you could do um, a satin or a semi-gloss even on here. You wouldn't have to go high gloss. Not all of our foils do transfer to a high gloss, but I'm going to go ahead and still capture this one with the gloss because I know it's going to bring the colors out stronger. Ooh, that's so pretty. So, so pretty. Okay, now anytime I've got a flat surface, I can do my brush on or I can do my wipe on varnish. And then I want to show you when we're doing our cutouts, okay, anytime we're doing our, I keep trying to find places to put all this stuff now that's wet. When we're working on stuff like this, every layer that I've applied, I have been doing a pounce on method. So I'm going to continue to do a pounce on method. And I'm going to grab me a foam brush because every layer that I've done in this manner, which keeps it from running over the sides and having to do a bunch of cleanup. Now, because this would be the final coat, I would be actually doing the sides as well. But let's say that you didn't need to do the sides or you still don't want it to run everywhere. Pouncing is always going to be one of your best techniques for all your cutouts, especially if you're buying these like Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree. They're already cut out, okay? So we want to make sure that we don't have product all running down the sides. This is just an easy way. Now we have texture. This one has a little bit texture to it. It's a beautiful texture. It does not take away from any part of the foils or anything. But anytime you're doing pouncing, just realize you're going to create a stippled effect through all your layers, because we pounced on our paint. We pounced on, I don't know, did I pounce on my paint? No, I think I used a foam brush because I painted all the sides as well. But I pounced on my foil adhesive. And I think I did pounce on the top maybe. So I come back, try to come back with the drier side of my foam brush and level out any of that excess bubbles if needed. And again, that's just going to give it a beautiful sheen. Look at that. That's so gorgeous. So Denise, we're going to want to know which one you end up picking, okay? And while we have this out, we're going to finish up Gather as well, so that this project will be done and I can hang it somewhere. If you're going to do any of your projects outside, make sure that you do put an exterior varnish over your foils, especially if it's going to go in the direct sunlight, because it will weather a lot longer and better. And even if you can find a top coat, an exterior top coat with UV protection, would be wonderful, okay? Because that is going to give you your ultimate protection for your foils, because that's going to give it protection from the UVs, and so they should not fade. Now, if you're just going outside and it's not in direct sunlight, you'll probably be okay. So far, the only color that I found that really faded, because I took some projects home and I had not top coated them. I thought I did, but I hadn't. Oops. Our Glitter Stars Blue faded really bad, but I had no top coat at all on it. Okay, I just took it home with just the foils on it and used it because we were putting it just at the center of the table and putting napkins and utensils in it. So I knew it wasn't really going to get touched. And I left it outside on the front porch. And it did fade a little bit, okay? So here we go again. This is the Melody, okay? So this is completely done. Ready to actually hang and enjoy. Now, I want to show you also, let's go ahead and do this, because I'm showing you this one product, okay, which is the one I was just using, is the Golden Top Coat. Okay, so Golden Paintworks Top Coat. They've got such simple names, Top Coat. And then I'm going to show you also Final Coat. So Final Coat is truly just a wipe-on varnish. I normally use my staining pads, but if I don't have staining pads handy, I've just got some unbleached cheesecloth, so it's got a really tight weave to it. And I'm just going to make a pad, and I'll use this to apply, because our final coat is really meant to be wiped on in thin layers. It's not really meant to be brushed. So if you're brushing it on, make sure you're brushing it on super thin, because it's really designed to be wipe on. So all I do is tip my my container over to get the product onto my cloth, okay, or my pad, and all I have to do is wipe it on. So when you're doing projects like this, oh my gosh, they go so fast. Now, the one thing though with Final Coat is you want to layer. So this will dry, because it's so paper thin that I just applied. This will dry within 10 minutes, so I can put another layer on and another layer on and another layer on. I'm going to use this here in my studio for my brushes, so I'm probably going to put on probably 3 layers, just because I know things get abused around here. So this bucket was from Dollar Tree, and I transferred, this is the Dominic Flowers in gray pattern. Isn't that gorgeous? So a simple little bucket is going to be a beautiful brush container here shortly, okay? But those are the two top coats that we use. But like I said, I want to bring my camera back up here. Test what you have. if you have a top coat at home, I'm sure it will work. Okay. If you want to play with ours, we're more than happy to get them in your hands and you can test those as well. But sample boards are so important. I know Gigi on here is a firm believer in them as well, because I like to figure out my project before I go and do my project, especially if I'm doing it for somebody else. I want to make sure I have everything nailed down. I've got my colors, my base coats. I know everything I need to do and need to use instead of guessing. Now, if I'm doing something for myself, I might just go all in and just start it and wing it, but that's only if I'm doing it for myself. And I have a tendency to do that, okay? And but the only bad thing is I lose direction or I change my mind. Okay, I started a hutch for the front room, and as I just finished a new sample, oh, I got to show you guys this. It's so pretty. Okay, um, if you guys are not in my painting group, you might want to check it out. We have the doors open right now for this week. Okay, so my painting group is where I teach full tutorial finishes, everything from painting to plasters, textures, a lot of the stuff we use out here, but we actually go through full complete steps and show you how to do all the layers. So coming in, this one should be in November as long as I can get all the product in. But isn't that gorgeous? It looks truly like metal. But this will be taught in the November, in the month of November, in my painting group. So if you want to know more about the painting group and get in there, okay, because I won't be teaching this on live. This is just for my painting group. Type in painting group and we will make sure we give you guys a link and you can check it out. But yes, I've decided, okay, so the whole reason I show you guys this, I decided that I want this on the hutch. So I'm going to have to start one of the panels completely over because I was winging it. So kind of having things set up and knowing which direction you want to go is a good idea. Now, I had forgotten about this finish. So if I had kind of thought things out longer, I probably would have went for this. But it's called Autumn Leaves. And I'll have to say it is just stunning. And it can be done in different colors. So here's another version of it, okay, as well. And it truly looks like it's metal. It's beautiful. So if you want to join us and want to come check it out, you definitely can, because like the doors are only going to be open for I think this week, and then we close our doors back up and we won't open the group until next year. Okay, so Desiree is one of the members. I knew she'd be oohing and awing over that one. Okay, it's absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. Oh, Denise, yes. So Denise is in love with Dominic. And I know that's why I love to use so many different foils on the lives, because I feel like you guys get a better chance of actually seeing them instead of trying to just look on the website. We try to do our best, and we're trying to put as many pictures of projects as well, because I think when you see them being used, you have such more of an appreciation for how gorgeous they are. Okay, guys, that's it for tonight. I'm going to try to get back here and we'll try to work on our K, okay, and do our hammered metal, or at least get another step or so done tomorrow. And if you guys have any questions, if there's anything you really want to see, then please write in the comments and we'll try to accommodate you, okay? That's what these lives are all about, is just to show you some stuff, give you some knowledge, and get you, we get you addicted to foils easily, okay? So all you have to do is try it once, you're done. Yes, Sylvia, once we're done, you can go back and watch the whole video. Darlene's asking, let's put her question up here. When you foil on foil, do you put more adhesive between foils? Yes, Darlene, I sure did. So she's referring to the Boo. Okay, so the Boo, I did a layer of foil adhesive. I transferred the Purple Rain completely. Okay, then once that was done, I put another layer of foil adhesive down, and I transferred the Ohana 1 tonight. Okay. So you have to have another layer of foil, otherwise, or a foil adhesive. You're not going to be able to put foil over foil with just one layer. Um, I shouldn't say that. Okay. The way I did it, it was full coverage both times. Okay, guys, you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.